Okay, hello friends, this is Amanda from the Private Attic. In this video, we'll be covering the user interface of the Apple's Pages app inside your iPad. Okay, so when you turn this on inside your iPad, you'll be able to see two types of mode. One is the edit mode, which is the one that we are currently on now, and you can see that we have all orange icons over here. Okay, the second is actually the reading mode. So the reading mode is actually denoted by this icon over here, and you can just click it to enter the reading mode. Basically, for the reading mode, you can actually scroll through your entire document without worrying about accidentally making any edits. Okay, so now let's cover the rest of the things. Okay, so if you want to make any changes, you do need to make sure that you're in the edit mode. Okay, so starting off from the left, we have the documents icon. If you click on this, it will direct you directly to your Files app, and this is where all of your documents are stored. Okay, so for me, I have stored them in the iCloud drive so that I can access them on the MacBook as well. Okay, but you can store them in other places as well. Okay, so once you have turned on your document, okay, you'll be able to see this page. Okay, and that's basically how you get to and fro from different documents. Okay, if let's say you want to open up an additional document, you can also swipe out from the bottom, and you can click this to open up a new window so you can open up another Pages document. Okay, now let's move on to the second icon, which is the sidebar icon. Okay, so for the sidebar icon, there are a few options. The first one is the page thumbnails. Page thumbnails are basically just all the thumbnails that are over here that show you all of the pages that you have. The second one is the 2 pages option, which is what you see currently I have inside my spread. Okay, if you can turn this off if you like. The third one is the word count, and the fourth one is the ruler, which I don't really use. Okay, and the last one is smart annotations, which is basically for the Apple scribbles, right? You can use your Apple Pencil to draw stuff. Okay, so you might want to turn this on if let's say you'll be doing some writing with your Apple Pencil as well. Okay, and if you pay attention to the sidebar, you can also see that apart from the page thumbnails, you will also see this plus icon over here. Okay, so this plus icon is for you to add in a new page. Okay, and once you click on it, you can see all of the page templates that is available inside the document. In this case, you will see 35 page templates, and you can just scroll through to find the ones that you like. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. The second thing that you'll see here is actually the outline. So this is the table of contents. Okay, and you can see that we can access different pages very quickly by actually just clicking on them. Okay, so I can access my passwords. I can also go directly to my weekly planner. Okay, if let's say you find that there's too many things going on, you can also go to edit, and then you can turn off some of the things. Okay, the next button over here is the undo button. Okay, so very straightforward. If let's say you have made a mistake inside, you can just do the undo button. Okay, following next, you can see in the center we have the title of the entire document. So this title, you can just click on it and you can choose whether you want to rename this or you want to move the document to somewhere else. Okay, and next thing comes the most important one. So this is the brush icon. Basically, for the brush icon, it will update its own settings as you choose different types of object. So if let's say currently I'm only selecting on the page itself, right? If I click on the brush icon, it will open up the page settings. Okay, so here I can change up the page templates by selecting any of the templates. Okay, so if let's say I want to change this to January memories, okay, I can just do that. Okay, I can also change up the background color, and I can also edit the page template itself. Okay, so if I go to edit page template, okay, this is where you can do the master edit to the page template so that the next time when you use this page template, it will look like this. Okay, once you are done with editing the master page template, you can click on done. Okay, and it will bring you back to the document. Okay, so another thing that you have noticed is that when I click on the page thumbnail, I can also choose to do several options with this. So I can choose to cut the page, copy, select all, delete, duplicate. I can also edit the page template or reapply the page template. Okay, the reapply basically is when you have made changes in your page template and you want it to reapply to the page. Okay, so that your changes are all reflected. Okay, so I have mentioned that for the brush icon, it will change its settings for different objects, right? So if let's say now instead of being on the page, you have selected a text. Okay, and when you click this brush icon again, it will show you a different set of menu. Okay, now you will have style, text, and arrange. So for style, it's got to do mainly with the text box itself, so you can change the fill, border, shadow, reflection, opacity, and text and caption. Under the text tab, you can change out the paragraph style, the font, okay, the size, the text color, alignment, bullets, line spacing, columns, and margins. Okay. Under the arrange tab, you can arrange whether you want your text to appear in front or behind, to move in front or behind. You can also change up the size and position, constrain the proportions of the text box so it doesn't change its proportion. For example, if you have a square and you want it to stay in a square, you can just turn this on. Okay, you can also rotate or flip, lock the position of the text box, or you can choose to perform a text wrap. Okay, if let's say you want to turn on the drop cap option, you just need to double tap on the word, okay, and then turn on your brush icon, go to your text tab. At the bottom, you will see drop cap. Okay, so you just got to turn that on. Okay, and then if let's say I have selected on a chart and I click on this, you will notice that my brush icon settings have changed again. So for any charts, you'll be able to see the chart style, data, and arrange. Okay, so for the chart, it's basically just the simple settings for the chart, so you can change up like the shape and the style that you like. Okay, you can also change up the chart type if you want to change to a different type of chart. The style is got to do with the fonts, okay, and the different symbols that you have. So you can go, each of the chart type has its own type of settings. So you can just go in and then you can navigate around the settings to see what they have. Okay, for the data, it's really just about the value itself. So you can change up whether you want the steps to appear in 4 steps, whether you want more steps or less steps, or you can make just everything automatic. Okay, and the last one is the arrange tab, which is the same as what we have covered before. So you can move back and front. You can also lock the position and apply text wrap to this chart. Okay, if I select on the image and I click on the brush icon, you will notice that we have different types of settings as well. So for the brush settings, there will be style, image, and arrange. Okay, so for style, you can also do the same things, your border, your shadow, reflection, opacity, etc. Okay, for your image, you can edit your mask. Okay, this is also how you crop down your image. You can do instant alpha, which is removing the background. Okay, you can also replace the image, add a description, or set it as a placeholder. And the last one will be that you can arrange back and forth. Okay, you can constrain the properties of your image, the proportions you can rotate it. You can also flip horizontally or vertically, lock the position, or you can do text wrapping for the image. Okay, the next thing that you have here is actually a plus icon. If you click on this, these are all the different things that you can add to the document. So on the first thing that you have here, this will be the tables. Okay, there are some preset tables that you can add in. Okay, but you can change up the colors as and when you like by using the brush icon. Okay, the second thing is actually adding in charts. So you can look at the different charts available. There's 2D, there's 3D, there's also interactive. Okay, so I've used a mix of this inside throughout the entire template. Okay, the next one is actually the shapes. This is very important because this is where you can add in your text and your drawing. Okay, so when you go to your shapes, right, you can see that there are several categories. The first one is the one that you might most likely use if you're using a lot of text. Okay, so this is all the basic shapes, and you can also add text using this function. Okay, so if you want to add a straight line, you can use the second one. If you want to add a curved line, you can use the third one, so on and so forth. And you can just go and browse through all of this. You can also use the search to search for different shapes. Okay, so you don't have to manually flip through. Okay, and if let's say you want to use your MacBook to draw your own shape, right? After you have saved it to My Shapes, you can see it under here. Okay, and the last thing is you can add a media. So you can add in a photo or a video. Okay, you can also take a picture using the camera function. Okay, if you want to record audio, you can also use this. Okay, so you can import video, you can also import an image gallery, you can insert a file. Okay, and this is very important. So the next one, this is a drawing, right? So if you want to do any annotation using your Apple Pencil, okay, you can turn this on and you will open up the scribbles portion. Okay, so once you open up the scribbles panel, then you can just use this to do any drawing that you like. Okay, or you can do any handwriting that you like. Okay, and the last one is that you can add in an equation, but honestly I don't use this lah. Okay, but it will be helpful if you can. Okay, so the next thing is the collaboration tool. So this is for you to share your files with other people, but for me I don't really use it. Okay, and the next one is this 3 dots over here. This is the more option, and you can see all of the menus available. So you can either share your document, you can also export it as a PDF. You can also print directly, but I've never tried that yet. Okay, the next one, very important, you can find your stuff. Okay, so if you don't want to use the table of contents, right, you can just use this find, and then you can search for whatever you're searching for. So let's say I want to find my password. And I can search, and it will go directly to that page. Okay. For the smart annotation, it's just the panel that we were talking about. Okay, then you can also change tracking. The document setup. Okay, naturally all of this is in the page layout setting instead of the word processing document, so that we can place the image and text wherever we want. And if you want to, you can also set a password to your entire document so that other people cannot see. Okay, there's also other options like publish to Apple Book, language and region. Okay, you can also turn on the guides so that it's easier for you to align your stuff. Okay, you can also go to your settings and then you can turn off certain things. Okay, the next one is the auto correction. I like to turn off the check spelling because I have a lot of dummy text in here. So when I turn it off, then I won't be able to see them. Okay, you can also turn on comments and you can add in your author's name, adding movies and editing. Okay, and then the next thing that's very important as well, this is the Apple Pencil tab. Once you click on this, right, I would like you to turn this on, which is the select and scroll mode, so that you can actually scroll with your pencil. Okay, but for the double tap to switch, I have chosen to turn it off because I realized that sometimes I do accidentally double tap and I just want to prevent that. Okay, and the last one is actually just this. So the reading mode, which we have covered earlier. Okay, so if you select on the chart itself, this is where you can edit the data for the charts. Okay, so once you have selected on the chart, then you can click on edit data to change up all of the data. And once you click on done, then it will show the changes. Okay, all in all, that's about all that I would like to cover inside the interface. So if you have any questions about any of the icons or the settings, you can just let me know and I'll answer them in the comments below. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.